Hello and welcome back again to the Golden Age of DC Comics 365, where I'm taking this coffee table book and using it for its intended purpose. Yes, I'm doing a page a day and to read about and to think about and to talk about one of my favorite subjects in the whole world, comic books. And if you're tuning in, hopefully you're a huge comic book fan too. And this is the kind of comic book conversation that I'm used to having at the comic book shop, and I really, really miss it. So come and spend a few minutes with me here, and we're going to step into the past, into the golden age of DC Comics. What is the golden age of DC Comics? That runs from 1938, the first appearance of Superman, until 1955, the end of the golden age of DC Comics. Well, the golden age ends in 1955 of superhero comics, and then in 1956 enters the Silver Age. I am a Bronze Age baby. The Bronze Age begins in 1974, about so. It's usually said about the death of Gwen Stacy. I also throw in the death of Aqua Baby, Arthur Curry Jr. at the hands of Black Manta. When Flash, Barry Allen kills Ebert Thawne, the Reverse Flash. And also I see Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, as the last Silver Age superhero. For what that's worth. And then so yeah, the Bronze Age ends. When does it end? It ends in the late 80s with Image. I need to learn more. I mean, this is what I love about comic books, that I'm continually learning things about it, especially its past, and this huge, vast knowledge that it's not only just about the stories and the characters and the canon and the continuity and where it's going and where it's been, but as a print medium, as an information medium. It's this was our streaming services back in the day. And so yeah, let's get to it. Let's open the book and see where we fall. It's March the 8th, and we have one of my favorite characters. We see his sister over there. But it's drawn by the Art Battery. Battery is a good term. Battery is a baseball term. It means the pitcher and the catcher, and that's the battery on a baseball team. And you could take that same application to comic books too. You have the writer and you have the artist who draws it. You have an inker. You might have an inker, but you have a colorist and you have a letterer and an editor. Sure, but essentially you have writer-artist, and that is the combo that is usually attributed, such as right here. So we're going to look at the art. We've got 3 panels in sequence, 3 sequential panels. We've got a narrative box. We've got word balloons on each panel, and we've got deep action. We've got a lot of action going on. We're in the middle of a fight scene, and it's my old friend, Captain Marvel. Check it out. But it's like fighting a buzzsaw. The gangsters fly in all directions, wrecking Sivana's lair. Sivana is the diminutive bald man in the background with his back to us, and green, running away. Then this is the robot Z, the anti-hero. Wait, Captain Marvel, I'm not beaten yet. No, but you will be in a second, says the big red cheese, because he can use a thunderbolt behind his punch and short-circuit a robot any day, in addition to him being the world's mightiest mortal. Yeah, this is Captain Marvel, Shazam, the kid Billy Batson who was given the magic word by the old wizard and transforms into the adult, idealized version of himself with magnificent strength. Let's look up real quick the acronym for Shazam. Shazam is actually an acronym, and it means okay. he's given the attributes such as that the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, something of Atlas, the wisdom of Zeus, the speed of Achilles, or the strength, the bravery of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. And I know there's a list. That is the list of the acronym of the word Shazam. So so each one has a there's a whole rote thing to it. I don't have it here, but and it's here it goes. S is for the wisdom of Solomon. H is for the strength of Hercules. A is for the stamina of Atlas. Z is for the power of Zeus. A is for the courage of Achilles, and M is for the speed of Mercury. And Mary Marvel will have her own female influenced acronym when she says Shazam for her magic word. And so intrinsically it's not Billy's word because she's invoking a different set of goddesses, not gods. Yeah. So yeah, Mary Marvel has this goddess archetype. But let's read the blurb. It's March 8th. Captain Marvel, who got his start in 1940 in the pages of Whiz Comics, was an instant success, which meant that he would have to be given his own comic book as soon as possible. In fact, Fawcett Publications was so eager to get the first issue of Captain Marvel Adventures on the stands that they bypassed their own busy talent pool. Instead, they farmed the job out to the hot team of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, soon to achieve their big breakthrough with their own captain, Captain America. Unfortunately, the pair's art style were not really compatible with the approach they were evidently instructed to emulate, that of Fawcett's chief artist, C.C. Beck, who C.C. Beck makes that classic-looking Captain Marvel from those 1940s comic books. Still, Kirby's wild action scenes make this a unique case of one old master working on another's character. In the background are the sinister scientist Savannah and anti-hero Z, who turns out to be a robot. Story and art by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby from Captain Marvel Adventures #1, published in 1941. So once again, let's just gawk at this Jack King Kirby art, visual storytelling. You know, there's no Kirby dots yet. Those they're not here. And not only have they worked at DC, but they're working at Fawcett as well, and Timely, which will become Marvel Comics one day. And this is Jack Kirby we're talking about, and Joe Simon. I mean, this is as golden age as it gets. And then Jack Kirby, what he did to the Silver Age, we're still talking about Kirby to this day. And we are still talking about Jack Kirby to this day. I've got a all right. Oh gosh, this is so heavy. This is the Fourth World Omnibus. I got this at a really good price, like about 40% off, and that's why I pulled the trigger on it. This is a magnificent tome. I am a comic books fan, and I had never read any of these growing up. I was always aware of Jack Kirby. I was made aware of his characters, I guess, would be, I was introduced to Darkseid and Desaad and the Superpowers team, and that was about 1982 or so. I then, a couple of years later, in Kevin Maguire and Jim DeMatteis's Justice League, that was post-Crisis. So now you had Big Barda, Mr. Miracle, and Oberon on this Justice League team, and it was great use of comedic stuff. And I had one of those schoolboy crushes on a animated character, Big Barda. I thought, like, wow, va va voom, what a lady, Yeah, and if you ever RTFM, Laney Kazan Playboy spread from the 1960s. It's very tastefully done. Nudes, if you enjoy the female form. And she was Kirby's inspiration for Big Barda. And yeah, and this is just Jack the King Kirby. Yeah, I can go on for days. We can go on for days about Kirby. I actually, one of my favorite Twitter accounts is a Jack Kirby, just like daily Jack Kirby, and it just makes it just it reminds me of how little Kirby I actually possess, and that I need to get more of. I would love to get 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's something. That's a collection. Maybe even in individual issues. That would be worthy, huh? Just getting some old comic books and basking in the ads. I love advertisements in comic books. They just bring me back. But yeah, thank you so very much. We're talking comic books. We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and find out whom and what we're speaking of. And yeah, I'm just having a great time. And I hope you are too. I love talking comic books, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm glad to have talked comic books with you. Leave a comment and a question in the comment section, and let's continue this conversation. You can contribute as well, and I'll read it at a later date too. And that's all I got for today. Like and subscribe if you could be so kind. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs down if you didn't like this material. I'm a big lad. I can handle it. I'm an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. I often get spiritual. I'm also a professional chef. I make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food for you to make at home for your loved ones. I got hacks. My soup videos get a lot of views. I'm really proud about that, and I'm proud that I'm able to make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food for my guests, and that includes you. If you can replicate this at home, I would love to see your pictures and love to hear your story. So yeah, thank you so very much for tuning in. Cheers and have a great day. Good luck. Excelsior. Cheers.